Hey, here we are for another installment of the Women Leaders Moving Forward Together series. I am Medina O'Neill, the head coach and founder at Team Be Real, where we build belief, belonging, and confidence in all athletes. And today, we are inviting a variety of women leaders who I have come in contact with over my time as an entrepreneur and having some chats with them. And it's getting smoother and smoother. Good morning, Jen.
Hi, Dina. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's sunny out. It
Oh,
was rainy all day yesterday, so
that lifts the spirits for sure.
yeah,
Lifts the spirits for sure. I we got on so quickly, I didn't even have a chance to mention who you are. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Tell everyone who you are, what you do, and how we know each other.
sure. So I am Jen Blanford. I own Blanford Consulting, which is a social media management company. So I help my clients with anything from content creation, all forms of it, to engagement and helping them make those connections with their clients. And then I also can help. I recently started a done with you offer where I can work with my clients to help them create a doable social media plan and then be there for them while they implement that plan for, quick reviews of this, that, and the other, quick questions, etc.
Oh, that's
And oh,
great.
and I'm a mom of four too, so
Very busy mom.
yes.
I follow Jen on Instagram, so I see she is working hard, very busy. And I love one of the things I love so much about your whole presence on Instagram is it's very real to go along with, of course, my brand of Be Real. Jen is as real as it gets, and I love how honest and transparent you are about life with your four children and running your company and really having that authenticity of who you really are and just making it work. So I absolutely love that about you. And definitely one of the things I think that makes us friends.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I agree.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
I think there's so many um people out there where you like it looks like you have to be uber professional, this, that, and the other, and it's almost like you can't connect with those type of people. Like I feel like as soon as we hit it off, like so how we like so going back to how we met initially, it was I believe it's via Tony. We were talking about potentially working together, and although that never materialized, we stayed friends. We've met in person, and just because we clicked, and it's just so easy to talk to you, and you know.
Yeah, and it is fun the way you make those connections and turn them into real life
Agree.
connections, and I think that's a kind of a good segue into just talking about Women's History Month. I think that is something that's very special for the women that I've met, and it's the women who I've invited to come have these conversations. Is that we really just kind of connect with each other and move forward together. So that's the theme of the month this year is moving forward together, women educating and inspiring generations. What does that mean to you when you hear it?
I feel like there's a lot of ways you could take that. I guess the best way for me to put it is to describe my example. Of my four kids, three of them are daughters, and they are all currently, I'll say adult-ish, 18, 20, 22. So legal adults, but they're still in that, phase where they're needing mom a
The
decent
frontal
bit.
cortex is not yet developed, right? I think we get to 25 and, until they still kind of really need their parents.
Something like that. So it's kind of about being there to support them, telling them it's okay. You make the choice. I don't care what you do, but be prepared for the consequences, or this is what I think you should do. So it's kind of about showing them, empowering them to make those decisions, even if they're not 100% sure, even if it's not what somebody else would do.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you said empowering them, right? You can give your advice, you can share your experiences, but really like if you're really going to inspire someone, they have to take action. So
Right.
if you're empowering them to say, okay, here's my experience, here's my advice, but what are you going to do? What sounds right for you? And kind of empower them to be their own person. So,
Exactly. And sometimes I don't want to do that because sometimes I'm like, ah, why are you doing that? You know?
it's hard. It's hard. And they're not us, and we have our chance to live our lives, and sometimes we want to live vicariously through them, or it's hard to watch them make mistakes that we know are going to cause. Sometimes we can see the consequences that they can't, as you mentioned, but we really have to let them learn and kind of be there to catch them at the same time.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you're inspiring your children. Who is a woman that inspires you?
So there were so many things, and so you had said somebody from your life. So that's where I'm like, gosh, there's so many people I could talk about, right? Um, I guess the one that came to mind in particular was my friend Caroline, who I met years ago at the gym. Um, and at the time, we were just mom friends, sharing mom friend things. And I knew she had a child that had special needs, but we kind of connected on that a little bit. But at the time, I only had my three girls, and then my son was born, and he's now 14. He has severe autism, and her son has autism as well. And we have connected on that. I see how she advocates for her family, but advocates for herself and make sure she's still doing things to take care of herself as well. And at the same time, she's so good. We talk about the keeping it real thing. Like she moved out of state, probably just before the pandemic. I don't remember exactly now, but like randomly, like we might not talk for months, and then randomly she'll just text me an event, or I'll text her an event, and it feels good to know that somebody's there for you and knows exactly, or maybe not exactly, but a lot of what you're going through.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it is, and I love that it's just the person who's inspiring you is just a regular person in your life,
So,
right? Like sometimes we think that there has to be some big answer. And it just can be someone who's giving you the space to do what you need to do. So
yeah,
I love that example. That's awesome. That's awesome. How do you think that being a woman uniquely positions you to do your job and serve your community? I mean, and when we're talking about social media, that's a ginormous community and a huge, huge audience. How do you think being a woman helps you manage that?
I think, and I'm sure there are some men or dads who can relate to this, but a lot of times it's the women who are the primary caregivers or running the household and trying to juggle all the things, especially I feel like a lot of the small business owners that I encounter, and maybe it's just the group, the Facebook groups I'm in and the other places that I'm in, a lot of the business owners I encounter are women, and they're trying to juggle all of the things. And even for the men that are trying to juggle all of the things, I feel like that my experience of learning when to let go of things, learning when to prioritize, can be valuable in helping other business owners kind of come up with their social media plans, sort out what is doable, sort out what they really have to do, what they don't have to do, what they feel like they have to do, kind of goes way through all of the things there.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, like you said, there are men who are primary caregivers, but we still kind of live in an age where the stereotype or the super generalizations, and of course, generalizations exist because they're mostly true, but we also recognize that it's not always exactly that way.
Correct.
But yeah, the where that primary caregiver role is often a woman, and therefore we've kind of built up those kind of qualities that then help us manage these kinds of situations. Like there's a lot going on to run a company, run a family, and and actually I was just making a connection. When women are running a family, we're not paid in dollars, right? We're paid in hugs and love and appreciation, and lots of other things. And when you start out as an entrepreneur, you kind of feel the same way,
Yes.
right? Like in the beginning, there are not a lot of dollars for the work that you're putting in. It's hard work, and I think moms who have gone through labor and childbirth, and also women who don't have children, have that unique experience as well.
Right. And
Yeah.
just the whole handling the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur. Well, there's a lot of ups and downs, especially, with the kids and everything. Really, that's just more of a human thing. It's hard to say that as a woman that uniquely positions me. But I do think being able to be real and honest, like how we talk to friends and we vent and this, that, and the other. I'm there to hear like what else is going on in their life, not solely
Yeah,
the business side. Do you know what I mean?
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So I have been trying to keep these kinds of short so that way they're kind of, everybody's busy, right? Or have a short amount of time to learn a little and move on with their day. So if you're given a minute to share and teach us something, what would that be? What would you leave us with?
So do you want me to actually say what exactly?
Yeah,
Like,
teach us
okay,
something.
sure.
What can you teach us in a minute?
Sure. So I could teach you the basic outline of my content creation system. There are a lot more details involved, but just basically my 5 basic steps that I do. So the first thing is just to have a list of ideas. Second part, have a posting schedule. What kind of post or what topic you're going to talk about each of the days that you plan to post. Then take a 1 day a week to create, schedule that content just so it's done, ready to go. Then on the day that, as you take that day, the second part of that is to decide the specific topic for each day and then to come up with your image. And then finally, just to review, make sure, A, it's what you really wanted to say, and to catch those little typos that come up. It's usually a catch.
Wow, that's great. I was like taking notes because that's I said I'm going to go back and see if my own process reflects that
Right,
because those are they're pretty standard steps. They're easy to implement and just check your own self. Okay, am I breaking things down and covering all the bases? So
right.
yeah, thanks for that little outline. Also great for anybody who is brand new to using social media for their business. And you've just kind of you've educated the next generation of social media entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs using social media. So that's
Yes,
really awesome. Thank
exactly.
you.
And I
That's
actually have a resource that details those things. So when you're asked to teach a topic, I'm like, I think that is useful,
yeah.
but there's more information to it. So
So if someone wants more information, how can they find you? How can they find this resource if they want to dig a little deeper?
sure, they can connect with me here on Instagram, Blanford Consulting. I believe it is one of the links in my profile, so it should be right there to access.
Awesome. Yeah. So contact Jen if you have questions about her process to for content creation. If you want to get into that a little bit more, definitely go give her a follow because she's always sharing good tips on her page. And I will leave you all with be well, be real, and keep moving forward. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too, Adina. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jen. Bye.